You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headline. The 7th International Conference on Omani-British Relations affirms on the strength of relations between the Sultanate and the United Kingdom. The weather condition in the Arabian Sea develops into a tropical storm with chances of indirect impacts on the governorates of Dhofar and Al-Wusta from Wednesday. The Civil Defense Subcommittee in the Governorate of Dhofar follows up updates in the weather condition Luban and its possible effects. And Ministry of Housing decreases the fees of changing property in real estate investment funds to 2.5% to enhance its urban role in the development. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda on his country's Independence Day anniversary. The 7th International Conference on the Omani-British Relations affirmed on the strength of political, economic, military and cultural relations between the Sultanate and the United Kingdom. The conference, which is organized by National Records and Archives Authority, focused on its session today on the historical and political pillar, namely conventions and treaties signed between the two sides since the start of the relation in the 17th century through trading. The conference was attended by a number of politics, academics, and researchers on the history. Around 43 work papers were presented during the two-day conference on the Omani and British relations, which are 350 years old. A number of manuscripts which demonstrate deep-rooted relations binding the Sultanate and the United Kingdom were displayed during the conference, which will benefit researchers in the international relations. It is worth mentioning that the volume of intra-trade between the two countries exceeds £1 billion sterling. The conference was presided over by His Highness Sayyid Haytham bin Tariq Al Saeed, Minister of Heritage and Culture. The latest weather charts and satellite imageries of the National Multi-Hazard and Early Warning Center show that the location of the center of the tropical storm Luban at latitude 12.1 north and longitude 61.1 east, around 940 kilometers away from Salalah city, with a surface wind speed ranging between 64 and 74 kilometers per hour. The bulletin issued today by the Public Authority for Civil Aviation said that the tropical storm Luban continues to move towards the west-northwest towards directions. The latest weather prediction charts show the possibility of indirect impacts of Luban on the governorates of Dhofar and Al-Wusta starting from Wednesday, the 10th of October 2018, with isolated rains and waves with maximum heights between 2 and 3 meters. The National Multi-Hazard and Early Warning Center keeps monitoring all the updates of the tropical condition. The Public Authority for Civil Aviation advises all to follow its latest weather bulletins and reports. The Civil Defense Subcommittee in the Governorate of Dhofar during its meeting followed up the updates of the weather condition Luban and its possible effects. It also focused on the procedures and preparedness of main concerned bodies and sectors. The meeting further discussed necessary means to take care of the essential services and medical support in all the wilayas of the Governorate. The 4th Symposium on Tropical Cyclones and Flash Floods, Evaluation of the Sultanate's Experience and Lessons Learned After Guno and Fet Cyclones took place in Muscat today. The event was presided over by His Excellency Sayyid Saud bin Hilal al-Busaidi, Minister of State and Governor of Muscat. Our reporter Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi has more details on the following report.
10 years after cyclones Gono and Fet, and the subsequent climate situations, and the Sultan's experience in dealing with such exceptional climate conditions were reviewed during the 4th Symposium on Tropical Cyclones and Flash Floods, which was organized in Muscat by the Omani Water Society.
It is a very good gathering, and we are now, after 10 years, we are assessing what we have learned from the past cyclones, the Gono, Fet, and the Mykonos. And with this, we can improve the way we forecast, the way we deal with the effects of the cyclones. And also, we will learn from the experts what they have to say in this.
At the event, 25 scientific papers were presented, focusing on unifying the efforts of experts and water stakeholders, reducing the negative impacts of natural phenomena, developing early disaster risk management systems, and tropical cyclone monitoring and warning systems. The symposium discussed the lessons learned from climate conditions and reviewed the achievements of the competent authorities in the field of precautionary measures to reduce the risks of floods. Besides, international experiments were also presented regarding preparations for hurricanes, relief, and rescue. The seminar tackled the role of civil organizations and the media in dealing with hurricanes, in addition to knowing the economic and social effects of climate change and the impact of cyclones on engineering designs of water installations and infrastructure. For the Sultanate of Oman Television, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
The Ministry of Commerce and Industry and the Public Authority for Stores and Food Reserve take part in the activities of the national exercise Al-Shumukh 2 being implemented by the Sultan's Armed Forces, the Ministry of Defense units and other military, security and civil organizations, along with As-Saif Al-Sari'a 3 or Swift Sword, which the Sultan's Armed Forces is implementing in cooperation with the British Armed Forces. This participation comes to fulfill the joint integration in the national system and cooperation among various civil, security and military establishments. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry's participation in the exercise is very crucial to set up the national economic plan, which simulates the proceedings of the exercise and giving a detailed report on the influence of wars on the national economy. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry, in case of any war, will coordinate with the bodies concerned to provide logistic support. It also will play an active role in temporarily suspending commercial agreements with the enemy states. It also plays a significant role in coordinating with the foreign investors to bring investment inside the country in case of any war, along with the finding alternatives in case of any countries reject exporting goods and foodstuff to the Sultanate. Lieutenant General Ahmed bin Harith al-Nabhani, Chief of Staff of the Sultan's Armed Forces, Air Vice Marshal Matar bin Ali al-Abaidani, Commander of Royal Air Force of Oman, and Rear Admiral Abdullah bin Khamis al-Raisi, Commander of the Royal Navy of Oman, along with the senior officers, visited today the command cells and sections participating in the Shumukh 2 and Swift Sword 3 exercise. During their visit, they toured the Joint Commands, Naval and Aerial Commands, and then the Media Center of Exercise. After that, they visited the National Center for Emergency Cases and Command of Royal Oman Police, participating in the exercise. Then the Chief of the Staff of the Sultan's Armed Forces was briefed on the events, tasks, and roles of each section during the progress of the exercise. He praised great efforts exerted by all the participating sectors and their understanding of the concept of joint national work, which will serve to make the exercise beneficial. The Royal Navy of Oman RNO stressed on the readiness of its naval fleet participating in Shumukh 2 and Swift Sword 3 exercises. RNO started its procedures by transporting the equipment and units, all their preparations and military vehicles coinciding with the deployment plans of other units side by side with the Sultan Armed Forces and the rest of the military, security and civil apparatus. Rear Admiral Abdullah bin Khamis al-Raisi, commander of the Royal Navy of Oman, receives Rear Admiral Diedra Piaton, joint commander of the French forces in the Indian Ocean. The meeting exchanged cordial conversations and viewpoints on several matters of common concern in the areas of maritime cooperation. Major General Salim bin Musallam Qatan, commander of National Defense College, received the military delegation from the National Defense College of Bangladesh. During the meeting, they exchanged points of view on a number of matters of common concern in academic and training fields. The delegation also toured the facilities of the college and got acquainted with its equipment, halls, and educational systems. Still to come on News Bulletin. The third Addan Arab Festival for Theatre started under the theme Tolerance and Peace. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. At the end of the current month, the Ministry of Housing will sign an agreement of the first typical residential district project in the Wilaya of Barka in the Governorate of South Al-Batina. The ministry decreased the fees of changing the property in the real estate investment funds from 5% to 2.5% to enhance its role in the urban development. These funds aim to provide fixed income for the investors through investing in real estate sector to be subjected to the security market system. Finding such funds aims to increase the efficiency and the level of the real estate in the Sultanate to compete as a commercial product, as well as finding shares in the securities market for these funds with less prices from the normal selling and purchasing real estate. It's worth mentioning that the Real Estate Investment Funds is one of the projects that was adopted by the National Program for Enhancing the Economic Diversification (TENFID). With the aim to shed light on the importance of sports and its benefits for the individuals, the 5th International Sports and Sustainable Development Conference was launched in the Sultan Qaboos University. The two-day conference will include more than 100 research papers on safety of the society as well as the benefits of physical exercise and sports, in addition to the role of sports in sciences and strategic development. The conference is considered an opportunity to exchange knowledge and expertise in the sports field. The Ministry of Tourism seeks to enter a new market to promote the tourism in the Sultanate and attract more tourists from Russian, Chinese, Iranian, and other promised touristic markets. The ministry is planning to open the touristic representative office for the Sultanate in Russia at the end of the current year, as well as in China in the first half of the upcoming year. National Business Center affiliated to the public establishments for industrial estate signed 2 contracts to attract sustainability, energy, and silicon for knowledge companies. The center is considered one of the main supporters of the small and medium-sized enterprises through rendering technical, logistic, and administrative support to growing projects and innovative ideas. The center aims to build small and medium-sized projects with an added value to the Sultanate national economy. The center also plays a pioneering role in society development through pushing wheel of development and promoting the culture of entrepreneurship among Omani youth. Under the theme Tolerance and Peace, the activities of the third Addan Arab Festival for Theatre were launched, which present child, adult, and street stage. The six-day festival portrayed social and cultural issues of Arab citizens and showcased youth talents in acting and stage. A number of workshops will be held on the sidelines of the festival in the fields of school theater and meme rendering by theater critics and stage performers and those interested in the issues of Arab theater. The attendees praised the good performance of the actors in the show and expressed that the bodies concerned should further support the youth talents in this field. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over most of the governorates with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the coasts of the Arabian Sea. Winds will be southeasterly to south light to moderate and seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The 7th International Conference on Omani-British Relations affirms on the strength of relations between the Sultanate and the United Kingdom. The weather condition in the Arabian Sea develops into a tropical storm with chances of indirect impacts on the governorates of Dhofar and Al-Wusta from Wednesday. The Civil Defense Subcommittee in the Governorate of Dhofar follows up updates in the weather condition Luban and its possible effects. Ministry of Housing decreases the fees of changing property in real estate investment funds to 2.5% to enhance its role in the urban development. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, thank you for watching and have a great night.